Are you ready to dive into the world of interior design but don't know where to start? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 of my most favorite interior design books that are going to help any budding designer. Hey there, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com. Whether you are like me and you want to become a self-taught interior designer, home stylist, and help out your friends and family, or you just want to up your game when it comes to designing and styling your own home, these books have really helped me learn so much about home styling, and I know that they're going to help you too. Let's get started. The first book I want to share is the Interior Design Handbook by Frida Ramstedt. This is probably the book, if you're going to pick up any of the books that I'm talking about today, this would be the one that I would recommend starting with first. I feel like this is just a really easy to understand, easy to digest, almost like an interior design Bible, if you will. It explains everything from proportions to textures to measurements and common rules of thumb in design, but I feel like it explains it in such an easy to understand format. In the book, Ramstedt shares everything from just your basic principles of design to layering, lighting, and elements, and then just some simple tricks and tips on how to create a cohesive and balanced room layout. So if you're completely new to home styling, interior design, I would certainly recommend this book, picking this one up. It doesn't really include tons of hard to understand designer jargon. It's just plain easy to read language. So I will link this book down in the description box below, as well as all of the books I'm mentioning in today's video. Okay, so this giant book, it's huge. It is a massive coffee table book, but it also is jam-packed full of information. This one is quickly becoming pretty much my favorite design manual I've ever read. It is more on the pricier side, so it's more of an investment into your potential career or your potential side hustle, but I love it. It's more complex than the previous book that I mentioned. This one is from the New York School of Interior Design, so it does come from some world-renowned designers, essentially based off of the home learning program from the New York School of Interior Design. And I myself have used this book a lot as a manual when I am working with friends and family and clients working on styling and designing their spaces. It walks you through everything from meeting with your client to working out exactly what they need for their space, questions to ask, and then launches into those interior design basics that you need to know about texture, scale, styling, etc. And it is chock full of pretty much everything you need to know for designing a room from start to finish. It even has a chapter on draperies and all of the different styles that you can choose with beautiful illustrations. So definitely something to invest in if you want to dive deeper into the world of interior design. The third book I love is called Made for Living by Amber Lewis. You might have heard of her if you follow along with the trends in home styling and interiors. She is one of the founders of the most popular home style of today, that organic modern style, if not the founder of it. I don't know if she essentially invented this style and everybody has, sort of been inspired by her, or she was one of the first. Not sure, don't quote me on that. This book is not only a really beautiful design inspiration book full of so many beautiful tips and tricks from Amber Lewis herself. She has a successful design firm right now, very up-to-date, trendy interiors, but it also makes for a beautiful coffee table book too. The cover is really pretty, the fonts and the photographs are just gorgeous. I do find her writing style to be a little bit simplified. I wish she would maybe dive into more of the technical side of interior design, but I don't think that's what this book is for. I do think it's more of a picture book with inspiration, and then she, just shares some of her personal tidbits and a little bit of her thought process in the interiors world. And if you love designing women and love to be inspired by them, this one, Homebody by Joanna Gaines, the great Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper fame, is a fantastic read. This one's a few years old, but I do find it still to be so relevant. I love how Joanna divides the book up into rooms. So if you're working on a specific room, like a living room, for example, you can open up the chapter on that and just get some beautiful inspiration specifically for that space. I also love how she has a section in this book all about different architectural styles and design styles and finding your design style. You know that I'm a huge huge cheerleader for that. I have a couple videos on finding your own personal interior design home decor style, and I will link to that down in the description box below if you're curious and you want to find out your own. And of course, she shares some of her beautiful projects that she's designed in the space, and it makes for a really pretty coffee table book as well. The next book I love is a classic, and this one is called Domino, the Book of Decorating. This one has been around for quite a few years now. Not only is it pretty to look at and my absolute favorite color, this beautiful teal color, it's just a classic. I find that pictures in it are sharing a little bit more colorful, maybe more inventive rooms, but I still feel like the rooms that are shared in here are timeless. And then it is a great reference book as well. It has really helpful information, charts and graphs, and just like Homebody, it is divided into rooms as well. So if you're looking for specific room inspiration for dining room, kitchen, etc., you can flip to that chapter in the book. So handy reference guide, a classic, also looks cute on a coffee table. My next favorite interior design book is called Home Therapy by Anita Yakoda. I actually dedicated a whole video to this book a few months ago. I will link to that video down in the description box below. She is really good at pairing our mental health with interior design. And I think that it is really important to think of decorating our spaces as directly affecting our mental health, our mood, and the mood of those around us, and how we invite people into our space. She has a psychology background, which I think is a really neat tie-in to interior decorating. She talks about the 4 different areas in your home, but not as rooms, but as domains. So she has the individual, organizational, communal, and renewal domain, which I think is a very unique and interesting way to look at your space. And then she has so many great tips and tricks for organizing your space and just creating that retreat. So if you want to really tie in organization and mental health into home decor, this is a really great, inspiring book to read. The next book I love is the Interior Design Reference and Specification book. Not a beautiful coffee table book. It is rather an ugly book, but it is one that I've had for many, many years, nice and small and compact, so I can bring it around with me. And it's just a very technical book. So if I have a question on what temperature do I want the lighting to be, warm or cool, what does that number look like, I can flip through this book. The answer is going to be there. It also has ideas on what sorts of notes you need to add to floor plans and how you would draw a door in a floor plan. It has what accessibility looks like if you're designing a house that needs to be accessible. So it's a really great field guide for interior design and a handy reference book to have on hand. Like the interior design reference book, this color scheme Bible, also not cute, but small, compact, easy to reference. This one is really fun because essentially it talks a little bit about color theory and how to mix and match colors, the color wheel, all of that stuff that I love to share as well at the beginning of the book. But then it has over 150 different color schemes in it. So different color palettes, page by page, to really give you some inspiration on how you can mix and match colors in your space. So if you are someone that loves color but is a little bit afraid on how to pair it, which color should be your most used color in the space, that 60% color, which color should be that 30% color, which color should be used 10%. This is a really fun book to have on hand and to reference. Plus, you could choose a color scheme, take that into your hardware store and ask the paint person to match those colors so you could have exact paint swatches that match the colors in this book. A very fun reference guide if you want to just get out of neutrals and play more with color, or if you love color and just want to be inspired on what pairings you can try. This book here is called Create at Home with Old and New. This book is a bit newer for me. It is by Ali Heath, and she's done a few other beautiful books before. She's in the UK, and this one is what I would say, not really a reference book or a technical book, but more of an inspirational book. And it's definitely inspired me recently to really look into making sure that I look at the antique stores, look at the thrift stores, and consider how I can add those old, beautifully created pieces into my space and the spaces that I'm creating. Heath creates some gorgeous, timeless interiors that really don't follow trends, but take advantage of beautiful art from all around the world. And she does share a few projects in here that just kind of will inspire you to mix that old and new, put those antiques in with maybe those more budget-friendly finds, and just create a space that is uniquely you and that's going to stand the test of time. A beautiful book, perfect for coffee table reading and just inspiring your design soul. I also love this book. It's called My Hygge Home by Mike Viking. If you've been following along on my channel and my blog for the last 10 years, you'll know that I discovered hygge probably in about 2013, 2014 perhaps. And that is the Danish concept of an inviting, friendly, simple, cozy way of living. And I love this concept so much. So in My Hygge Home, Viking goes into practical examples of how you can create this cozy, welcoming space. He talks about minimalism, he talks about lighting, about furnishing, about scale, proportion, and then really everything down to how you can incorporate handmade items into your space, handmade food, and just create that cozy, warm hygge vibe in your home. So certainly one that I would recommend picking up. It's a fun read for visitors. So again, another fantastic coffee table book, but then also something that might inspire your own cozy, beautiful interior designs. Those are the books that I love the most right now in interior design. I do have quite a long list of books that I would love to still read yet. I will list those down in the description box below and link to those, as well as these ones that I know, love, and I've shared today. If you have a book that you love that's really inspired your interior design, home styling, home decor, please let us know down in the comments below so we can check that out too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas. I want to share with you 10 decorating rules that changed my life. If you want to hear them, click right up here.